If you are an emotional eater and you eat to numb your feelings, in this video, I will show you how to disempower your cravings with one simple understanding. The idea might sound a little unorthodox to start with, so I encourage you to approach it with an open mind, because anything else that you've tried hasn't been working for you. This is why you're here. So I encourage you to try and look at it from a different perspective. When it comes to feelings, we have a lot of information out there these days. Feelings and emotions and self-awareness are a relatively new field. The generation slightly older than us, our parents, we are the first generation who know about psychology, who know about emotions, and people who have gone through psychotherapy, it might be you, will know just how wonderful it feels to get to the bottom of what's holding us back, to the bottom of the hooks, to the bottom of the triggers that we have, and disempower them. However, there is another trick that we can use, a mental trick that we can use in the moment of a craving. And that is, feelings aren't facts. Feelings aren't facts. The fact that you are feeling something, it doesn't mean that it's true. The fact that you have a bodily sensation of the feeling, that you have an emotional reaction to something, the fact that your physiology has changed to follow from that feeling, and the fact that you feel it on every level of your cell, it doesn't mean that it's a fact. Now, this was a favorite phrase, one of the favorite phrases of my coach, my mentor, and I loved it. For me, it was a revolutionary idea, and it helped me tremendously in the moments of heat. The thing is that the feelings that you are feeling as reason for the craving, those feelings are usually false in the first place. Feelings are not facts. The fact that it's happening in my body, that it's not a fact, and it's for me to evaluate. It's for me to evaluate whether it is a fact. You know, historically, that you usually crave because you are feeling upset, or you're not feeling worthy, or somebody insulted you, or you're feeling ashamed, or you're feeling guilty. Those painful emotions that we feel, if you come from work and you think that your boss said something to you, and you feel shame because you think you've done something wrong and everything is on you, that you've exposed yourself somehow, that somebody saw something that you did wrong. If you come home feeling those feelings and you feel the knot in your belly and it's just all you want is to get to the fridge, or get to the cupboard, or get to the supermarket to get yourself bags of junk, recognize that moment there and then, and start from definite saying, feelings aren't facts. Feelings aren't facts. This is the primitive part of you. This is the impulsive part of you. This is the part that shouldn't be making life decisions for you, not when it's dysregulated like this. When it's regulated, it's a different thing. You need to engage your thinking brain, your logical brain, your control center, your executive part here, your prefrontal cortex here is where your executive function lives. You must engage that part of the brain when you feel an impulse. You must move your decision making from impulse to intellect. And the intellect part of you, the intellectual part of you, is going to evaluate the impulse. So when you feel the impulse, when you feel the cue, when you feel a craving, this is now a cue for you not to go and look for your binge food. It's a cue for you to evaluate. Okay? When you feel that bodily sensation, that craving, you say, feelings aren't facts. And then you evaluate. Clients come to me all the time believing they need help with emotions. We do emotional work as well, absolutely. After the binge cycle has been broken, because I know from the experience that majority of the painful emotions and uncomfortable emotions that people are trying to numb with eating are in fact caused by eating itself. So it's the shame from eating, it's the guilt from eating, it's the self-loathing, it's the despair. These are all very, very uncomfortable and strong emotions. But once you stop the binge cycle, those emotions no longer exist, because you're no longer hopeless, because you are full of hope now, naturally, without addressing emotions, because the hopelessness was a result of the binge eating itself. You no longer feel ashamed, you feel proud, you feel free, and you feel proud. So that shame automatically goes. Guilt, you also don't feel guilt, because you have no longer to feel anything to feel guilty about. And the self-loathing as well, you're so proud of yourself. All those negative emotions that have been caused by binging, they automatically fall. And in my experience, it's the majority of the pain that people are trying to numb. Once that happens, granted, stuff sometimes comes up, and the real emotions that originated that the eating, dysregulation of eating, that might come up, and that is then the best place to address those emotions, and they are being addressed in a healthy way. They are being addressed in a safe way. There is no need to numb them. They are absolutely, then it's the time to explore feelings. Then it's the time to go in, trying to explore and justify and educate yourself about the shame and the hopelessness that you feel around binge eating is just wasted energy. It's wasted energy, because you are going to try and look in your childhood, and you're going to try to look into old traumas, and you're going to try and make connections with things that are not actually connected, but just for you to feel sane. And chances that you are going to feel more sensitive about everything. You are going to enhance the feelings of shame and guilt and self-loathing and hopelessness. Those feelings are usually as a result of binge eating. If you are struggling with food control and you are feeling those emotions that I mentioned to you now, chances that they are as a result of the lack of control itself. And they are just covering the real emotions that maybe are trying to get through from underneath, that have been trying but have been covered by those then false emotions. It's a subject that we explore very thoroughly when I work with people. I also talk about it in my other publications, in my books, in my other videos, certainly in the community, Wired Free community, where we meet with like-minded women, and we explore those subjects for future growth. You're very welcome to join the community. For now, when you have that emotional reaction that normally causes you to go and eat what you don't want to eat, stop for a moment and say feelings aren't facts. Just try it, just do it, because if it clicks for you, this is going to be a very, very effective technique. And then you have a weapon in that moment of heat. And the truth is that a craving goes away. Any emotion that you feel, it goes away. All of this goes away. Cravings often don't go away if we don't know how to disempower them. If we are only trying to distract ourselves from it, it might not always be enough. Sometimes you might need something to break that chain. And this is one of the things. You swap from your impulsive part of yourself to the intellectual part of yourself, and that's when you are in the driving seat. That's when you are in control.